Welcome to Nonstop. It's the official and season show of Kirk, Herbstreit, and Joey Galloway. Your first stop for all things football, college and pro, every Monday.
All right, welcome to Nonstop. Joey Galloway and myself had an idea that we would, Joey gets a lot of chances to talk about football. I get a lot of chances, but we don't get a lot of chances to speak to one another. So we came up with an idea to put a little podcast together. Joey, you looking good. Appreciate you doing this with me. This should be a lot of fun. We can talk college. We can talk pro. Look forward to breaking this down. I go, I've known Joey for 35 years.
Dude, it's crazy because it's crazy like with the dog stuff now, with you and Pete now. Yeah. And people will say, hey, Herbie got a dog. And I'm like, Herbie had a dog when I met Herbie. Like 35 years ago, back when you had that apartment with Hutto and Smith. You've had a dog since Megan. I've met you.
Yeah.
And it has literally been you and the dog.
Always.
It's never been anything but now like you're giving everyone else a peek inside.
Yeah.
And so they talk to me and I'm like, that's been him. Like,
that's it.
This isn't new. Like this was. Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been.
It's unreal. I'm very thankful to have this opportunity to BS with you because you and I talk all the time about, when I did radio for 15 or 20 years in Columbus, and you were cool enough to come over in your off season and come on, and you would say some things that were just like, oh my God, that people will get fired up about. And you've done such a great job with your career. Since how many years in the NFL did you play? End up 18?
I went 16 years. And it's funny now when we look back at the radio and where that started and how much I learned, but I didn't know I learned it.
Yeah.
When you were teaching me, I actually didn't understand that I was learning how to do this business. And then years later, when you're like, hey, why don't you give this a shot? Why don't you try this out? It's like just some random, why don't you just try this out? And then I get in, and then that's when it's one of those crazy things. Then that's when I lean back and say, oh my gosh, this is what he taught me. Like back then when I was young and dumb and I would be coming in from a workout and I didn't really want to do any work. I'm like, man, I'm tired. And I now lean back and I'm like, this is what he was teaching me way back then. And now all these years later, it's gold.
Well, bro, you do an awesome job. It's been a lot of fun to watch. It's been fun. We've had a chance to work together. And now with this, we'll talk some NFL. We're going to talk some college. I mean, there's a lot to get into in a short amount of time. And the cool thing is we haven't spoken at all about other than maybe, hey, hit this topic or that topic. But I'd love to get your reaction to a few things, and we can kind of go back and forth. But let's start with the game on Saturday night with Notre Dame and Texas A&M. I think a lot of us thought that was going to be a game that Notre Dame playing at home, kind of in a must-win, that they were going to be able to take care of business. But, man, Mike Elko, Marcel Reed, what an incredible game that went back and forth. What stood out to you about this? And this kid played at my son's high school, so I've known Marcel Reed since he played as Montgomery Bell Academy. He actually played Zach's Zach's junior year. Marcel Reed was a freshman. And so, he's a Montgomery Bell Academy kid in Nashville. Oh. Great kid. I've known him since actually elementary school. That's how long I've known him. But great dude, unbelievable win. What were your thoughts about this one? The Notre Dame really needed this win to get the 1-1. What do you think?
Yeah. You start to learn something about these teams. And I think when we get into our top 5 teams, we're going to get deeper into this thing because now, like, we really get to give our top 5 and get to give some explanation of how we arrive at these things. Yeah. So now we have to learn something about Marcel Reed and Texas A&M. Hey, we know they're a pretty good football team, but when you go on the road at Notre Dame and hang in there, now deal with some adversity. Marcel Reed takes a big hit, down for a second there, comes back in, fights back in, have to go down, score at the end. This game deserved overtime. It just
it did.
It deserved overtime. It's unfortunate for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman that they missed the extra point. But you did learn that Marcel Reed and those receivers, Craver and Concepcion, big time dudes, like big time playmakers. And it's going to be fun to watch A&M moving forward. And I'm happy that Notre Dame is still ranked in the AP.
Yeah, I am too.
They played two
great teams,
really good football teams,
yep,
and played them to the end. And I love the idea of they're 0-2, so they have to be like kicked out.
Yeah, like you're out. You're out. Yeah.
So I love the fact that they're still ranked.
And the thing that I think, you look at these, they're up 10 with 6 minutes to go. I mean, at home, you're thinking, even if they give up a score with CJ Carr and Price and the backs that they have, they're going to be able to manage this and be able to get out of here and win this football game. But boy, Notre Dame, I agree with you. 0-2, their season is not over. I heard a lot of people say it's a must win, even though it's only week 2.
Yes.
They don't really have anybody ranked remaining. SC is going to be ranked by the time they play them.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think because they competed in these games, they took Miami down to the wire.
Yes.
And competed and lost late. Obviously, this game with A&M competed down to the wire. I think when the dust settles, we're going to see A&M's a very good football team. So I'm with you. I don't think this season's over. I don't think they're done, even if they finish 10-2. There's so much football left to be played. I'm actually impressed with Notre Dame, even though they're sitting at 0-2. What about A&M? We've talked in the preseason, Texas with Arch Manning, LSU with some of the additions that they picked on the defense side of the ball, like Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on A&M? Kind of a team that was maybe that second tier when August came around, and now we've got a little bit of evidence to see that they're sitting there at 3-0 with a really impressive win in South Bend.
A&M is one of those teams to me that if you've been in it for a little while, you've seen plenty of years where they've been talented, and somehow, some way, they don't find a way to get over the hump. They don't find a way to get into that top tier. So I always approach them, teams like A&M, teams like Miami. It's like, I got to see first before I just believe that it's going to be what it is. Now, I don't think A&M I don't think they have Notre Dame. Not Notre Dame. I don't think they have Georgia. I don't think they have Bama. I don't think they have Tennessee on their schedule. And so when you look at the SEC and you start to like navigate like pathways, how to get through it.
Yeah.
If they stay healthy, I think that they're sitting in a really good place to be in the conversation at the end, because, if you can get through the SEC, and I'm not making it sound like those other teams are cupcakes or pushovers, but if you can avoid those 3, you're pretty excited.
Right.
You're pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
And if they can get to the conversation about getting into the SEC championship game against whoever it is, now you basically put yourself in the playoff, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, you got Auburn coming up, and that's a game that is at home.
Yes.
Mississippi State at home. Florida is at home. They go to Arkansas, which is potentially a tricky game. They go to LSU, which is going to be a massive game. That's late in October. They go to Missouri. Again, these SEC games on the road can always be tricky. That's early November. They got South Carolina at home, and they got Texas at the end of the year on the road. So dare to dream if you're an Aggie. I mean, you know what I mean?
But they're nervous. They're like,
oh yeah. And I will still say this about Marcel Reed. Again, just knowing him, he's one of those, some guys at that position, the moment's either too, at times, big. I've never seen him compete since I think sometimes playing as a freshman in high school in a good program, in a good league, when you're 14 and you're playing against seniors in high school, that to me is as impressive as a 18, 19-year-old freshman playing in college. When you're 13 or 14, and he did that, and he's just ice. He's just one of those guys, doesn't matter what the moment is. He just has those intangibles. And I think now that it's his team, last year he was back and forth with Connor Weigman. Now it's his team. He's going to bring a belief, not just to the offense, but to the defense, to Mike Elko. When you're right at that position, you know how that affects the entire roster. And I think A&M's right at that position. And it'd be interesting to see how they handle the euphoria, pats on the back, and just get back down. You know what I mean? Because that's the next challenge is everybody telling you how great you are after you get a big win like that.
They earned it. They absolutely earned it. I'm sure Notre Dame fans want you to quit showing that play.
Oh, gosh.
There was an egregious hold.
There was
egregious. One of those ones.
The left guard. There's penetration. He locked onto the guy.
He tackled the guy. He literally tackled the guy.
Yeah.
And that's one of those ones. And I know Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame, they're going to get into this because, you know, from a coaching standpoint, you want to be like, yeah, that's not the play that lost us the game. You know, there's so many plays in a game, and we don't focus on one. That one was a big one. I mean, he tackled and then you say,
and then he got out of the pocket to his left and makes the throw.
And it's like, you want to say, hey, how do you miss that? Like, how would you give Marcel Reed all the credit? Love the play design. They throw the ball to the one guy. I'm not going to try to say his name again. To the one guy that is in single coverage. Everyone else has like 2-3 guys around him because you got Craver and Concepcion on the field. Obviously,
you got to take them out.
You got to take them out, and the one guy, and it's a great play, but my gosh,
and I'm pretty big on always. The refs are human; they're going to miss some calls, but that one right there in the middle of the pocket where there was initial penetration, you would think the penetration would have caught the referee or the umpire's eye, and then the reaction to it was pretty apparent, and maybe that's part of the reason Notre Dame didn't drop in the rankings. Hey, let's keep popping here. Georgia, Tennessee was down there in Knoxville. Unbelievable crowd for game day. Unbelievable atmosphere. That's one of those places. I mean, there's so many great atmospheres in college football. When Tennessee is good, don't overlook Neyland Stadium and the atmosphere in that fan base. Unbelievable. And by the way, who thought the game would start the way it started with Tennessee just right down the field? Georgia comes right back with Gunnar Stockton. I mean, it was like, holy cow, this is going to be a shootout. This was a great game. And Georgia, who's been on the bit, again, another team that's not been talked about a lot because it's a new wave of players. You know, it's a lot of new faces and new names. Most of our guys are in the NFL. They were tested, obviously, and boy, did they respond. There's a lot to get into here, but what was your takeaway from this game in Knoxville?
I think we've had some big games this season that just they were close, but they weren't exciting. You mean like take Ohio State, Texas? Yeah, it's a game of two top 3 teams. And it starts off and you're sort of waiting. You're kind of waiting around.
Still waiting.
Something to happen.
Yeah.
Even Clemson, LSU, same thing. This game, if you showed up a couple minutes late to sit down, you missed some stuff.
Yeah.
This one started off like a big time game. And it was like, we're going to show you who we are and let's find out. Tennessee came out, done. You're going to play us outside man-to-man against Brazil.
Okay.
We're going to take that.
We're going to take that.
And complete it and score. And so when they throw up 21 points in the first quarter, that's your selling like, okay, finally one of these top-tier games is turning out to be the entertainment that we expected it to be. And the craziest part, and I think when we get into our rankings again, this will be something that sort of stands out to me. If Tennessee hits the field goal at the end, everything we're saying about Georgia, we would be saying about Tennessee.
Yeah, that's how close
the way they played.
Yeah,
they are, and it's crazy the way it feels to people watching a football game. Georgia fans go out, we won the game, you absolutely did, and Tennessee feels terrible.
Yeah.
All on one missed field goal at the end of the game flips that entire thing in a game where Tennessee has a lot to be excited about, what they did in that game. And again, I think it was the week before when Georgia played Austin Peay or something like, and it was like somewhat of a close ball game. not the blowout. It wasn't a 73-0 blowout you expect. Gunnar Stockton comes in and had only thrown 2 touchdowns. And I was honestly one of the people was like, I don't really know what I'm looking at here with Georgia. What is this? And so to see them step up in that moment at Tennessee and play that, I was like, oh, here we go. All right. This is college football season. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the 2 quarterbacks, right? Because that's the mystery is Carson Beck. There was so much going on with that last year. Gunnar Stockton comes in the SEC championship game, took a huge hit against Texas, showed how tough he is.
Yeah.
But could he run their pro style of offense? Well, you get down 21-7, you get into some obvious passing situations. This guy's never started a true road game in the SEC. What better way for him to get kind of indoctrinated than to go into Neyland Stadium down 21-7 and kind of show what he's about? I think the biggest thing I took away from that is, again, most of these Georgia players, I think they've lost 46 players to the NFL in the last 4 years. It's the most by far. I think 14 of them are first-round draft picks, 10 off of their defense. So it was a new wave of guys. It's still Kirby Smart, but it's a whole new wave of players. And to get tested like this, and there's the kick that they very easily Tennessee could have made and won the game. But I took away from this, much like you, Tennessee's got to shake this. They still can have a ridiculously good year. Yeah. And they got a quarterback that I think we're all excited about with Joey Aguilar. His accuracy downfield. Nico, as good as he was,
fun to watch.
It was missing last year in their offense. It was more about Dylan Sampson and them pounding the football. Now they can still run it, but now they get back to being who Heupel wants to be, throwing the football downfield. So that's Tennessee. If they can regroup, realize what's still at stake, they still can have a great year. Georgia, to me, man, Gunnar Stockton grew up. All those new faces grew up. Kirby told me on Friday, we were on a Zoom talking about the game. He said, I don't know. I really don't know yet how my team's going to respond to this. I can just tell you this. I like the makeup of my team. I like we are more of a team than we were a year ago. There is definitely something going on that I'm seeing. That's what he said to me on Friday. And then to see a team get down 21-7, and then to just kind of like go, it was like a heavyweight boxing match. Just take some hits, throw a few hits, back and forth. And they catch a break there at the end by the kick going wide right. But just the fact that they put themselves in that position.
The throw on 4th down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was that. I don't know if people understand. I hope they understand the placement of that ball. Because I don't actually know if people know that deep balls are supposed to be placed over the outside shoulder of the receiver. It's supposed to be placed here.
Could he have could he have handed that to him better?
In the dictionary, when they define the way a ball is supposed to be thrown, how perfect that ball is thrown, outside shoulder, defender inside,
totally
on 4th down with everything
game's on the line. That's it. And he threw it like he's thrown it his whole life. So I'm just saying, Georgia, obviously the win helps, but I'm just saying how they battled, how they endured with a new quarterback. I really think they like this quarterback. I think, and much like what we're talking about with A&M, I think they feel like this is our guy. There's really something kind of they're rallying around this guy. And, it's just like Stetson Bennett. It was like Stetson Bennett won a national championship and people were like, is Carson Beck ready yet? He just doesn't look the part. Like, where's Carson Beck? He's 6'4". He's going to be in the end. And Stetson Bennett wins a 2nd national championship. Like, now he's on the Rams. This guy, Gunnar Stockton, first of all, he's a top 100 recruit. Everybody in the world wanted him. He's got ability. And by the way, down on the field pregame, standing next to him, when sometimes you would be an example of that. You see you in the uniform, then you see you in person, you're like, damn, this guy, Gunnar Stockton, bro, he is, I don't know if he lives under a squat rack. He is put together. Ass, thighs, just put together. And he just kind of has that put the ball down, let's just go compete mentality. And Georgia, another team like A&M, grew up. And I think you and I are seeing it the same way. Tennessee and Notre Dame, early in the year, tough losses. I know you obviously would love, But guys, there's so much
Yeah,
there's a lot to be excited about. If you can keep playing the way you're playing,
absolutely right.
there's still a lot
Yeah.
to accomplish here.
Last year, Notre Dame was finished after Northern Illinois. After losing
Yeah.
to Northern, done.
Yep.
Write them off.
Yeah.
Just keep winning. Keep playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit a couple other. Georgia Tech, Clemson. Everybody in the world thought Georgia Tech was a kind of a threat this year. Everybody wants to say Miami and Clemson are the obvious, but who's another team potentially could be in the mix? A lot of people thought Georgia Tech could be that team with Brent Key. He's got a quarterback in Haynes King. Clemson, don't really know what to say.
Yeah, take first crack at this one. What did you expect out of Clemson coming into the season, and then what are you seeing now?
Well, you had a quarterback that's a 3-year starter.
Yes.
You thought they're in a great spot there. He's taken his lumps, survived it. Now he's ready to go his last year. You got a new defensive coordinator. You got a ton of talent on defense. This is a potential championship team. That's what I thought.
Right.
And then they played a really good LSU team at home, couldn't close the door, went up on a very, very talented Georgia Tech team on the road. I don't know where they go from here because the quarterback I thought was going to be a lot more consistent. Now, to his credit, they don't have an offensive line that can just blow people off the line. So it puts a ton on him and the passing game. But they're just not, I just don't think they're the team at this point that we kind of all hoped to see them be. And they battled back. I mean, it's not like they just showed up flat. I mean, they competed. I think two things. Georgia Tech's pretty good.
Yeah.
And Clemson has some holes that they've got to figure out. Most notably, the offensive line, because they can't put it all on Cade. And right now, it's really being put on him in the passing game. Okay,
interesting. I think you can put a lot on Cade. I mean, because again, you mentioned he's a 3-year starter.
Yeah.
Now, offensive line hadn't been great, but there are moments, and we've seen this with the good teams. We've seen it so far, where there are moments in these games where they need their quarterback to make a play. And we just talked about this with Gunnar Stockton and Marcel Reed and how Joey Aguilar and these guys played. We just talked about this same thing. There are moments when we need you to make a play, right?
Yeah.
And so when you look at these games, and if you look at, and I'm just going in the huddle right now. I'm in the huddle with you. You're my quarterback. We're in the huddle. And we might be in these moments when we're struggling. Offensive line isn't playing well. There's going to be 4 or 5 times in a game, and maybe just 4 or 5 times in an entire game where we need to make a play that is going to change our life in this game.
Yeah.
For Clemson, I'm not seeing those moments. And that it is tough. It is tough when things are hard because you don't know when the moment's going to happen. You know what I mean? You never know when that specific moment's going to happen. Notre Dame would have never imagined that their moment would be on an extra point,
right,
where they had to be good. I don't see those moments out of Clemson and Klubnik and Wesco's a big play guy outside. I think Randall's the running back who's leading them in rushing at like 200 yards on the season.
Yeah.
It is like the other way. We just talked about all the good stuff we've seen this weekend. Great moments, people stepping up. Clemson feels like it's on the other side of that. And it's what they played Troy. I think it was 27-16.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like these 3 games they lost to them, but they've just felt like, what is it? Like, what are they? They're
right.
We don't see what we thought they were going to be.
Yeah. And again, let's not pass this before we say Georgia Tech, Haynes King. There's some grit there. They really take after their head coach.
Yeah.
He coaches with a chip on his shoulder, which I love. He's at a place where he played. He understands. They're kind of like viewed as, no, you're not quite cool enough to be invited to the party. And so he has guys that kind of show up in a bad mood. And I love the guy. I mean, when you talk with him one-on-one, there's you could just see there's a vision of what Georgia Tech can become. And to me, I don't think that was Clemson sleeping. I think, clearly they scored that game tying touchdown late. It's like, okay, they're gonna get out of here with a win. And then Georgia Tech against that Clemson defense get in the field goal range for the last second kick. So to me, it's easy to sit there and scratch our head about Clemson, but I think Georgia Tech sitting there at 3-0 needs to be a team that all of us are kind of paying attention to and kind of seeing where that might go. Before we get to the top 5 teams, how about Vandy going to South Carolina?
Hold on. Before you move on.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing about Georgia Tech?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't trying to take away from what they did. Here's why I respect Georgia Tech so much. This is why I love Georgia Tech. And this is what I love about football at times. You come into a game knowing Haynes King is going to run the football.
Yep.
What are you going to do about it?
Yep.
Like it ain't like they're sneaking up on you.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech is coming in the door saying, hey, Haynes King is going to run the football for us. What are you going to do to stop it? I love watching what Georgia Tech does because of that mentality. If they can keep him healthy.
Yeah, that's the key.
Absolutely a team that can win the ACC.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Think about that. Think about that. And they gave us a taste last year. I think it was around Thanksgiving against Georgia, back and forth. And just again, Georgia finds a way. And Brent Key, who knows Kirby really well, they just kind of come together. They just kind of drained, just kind of hugged each other. And I think a lot of us thought, I'm going to remember Georgia Tech. I mean, they stood in the middle of the ring with Georgia.
Yes.
And now they've used that, I think, as a confidence builder for who they can be this year. And Haynes King is a baller. We got to hit Vandy because I don't think this was Vandy with good old Diego Pavia. They're a wild card. They went in there into one of the more hostile environments in the SEC and just won the line of scrimmage, played great defense. Pavia played smart. I think there's more to Vandy than just Diego Pavia. I think it's about Clark Lee has built a team that thinks, I mean, Vandy in our world, Joey, when we were growing up and playing in the Big Ten, how Northwestern back then was just kind of like Northwestern, you just get by that week, hope you don't get healthy. Vandy's been that forever in the SEC. I've heard people, I live in Nashville, people say who aren't Vandy fans, like, why are they still in the SEC with all this realignment? How are they still in the SEC? And meanwhile, Clark Lee, who played there, who's from Nashville, went to Montgomery Bell Academy, another NBA guy, he's just sitting here building a team, another team that's pissed off at the world, and how dare you question us? How dare you slight us? And they didn't sneak up. They just went in there with a rubber hose and just beat up on South Carolina in their stadium. That was one of the more interesting games I thought of the whole weekend.
I did too. And I feel like Vandy does this. They catch somebody every year and they go in and they give it to them. Now listen.
Well, you're not believing?
October 4th, they start a run of games. The schedule maker was not kind. October 4th, they go to Alabama. And then the 18th, they get LSU at home. Then the 25th, they get Missouri at home. Then November 1, they go at Texas. And then November 8th, they get Auburn, then Kentucky, then Tennessee. So we're going to find out. Listen, I'm with you. That wasn't a typical, we need a couple things to happen. And then in the end, we got a chance. They went in and won. Like they went in and gave it to him. Now, Sellers goes out in that game for South Carolina. But like that, I mean, do we have,
is he biting?
This is taking me back to 35 years ago when we're trying to play video games. And was it Megan at the time?
Yeah.
And Megan would come through and hit all the wires. And I'd want to, is this
All right, get out of here.
Is there any way I can
God.
block my screen where it's like I don't? This is what we're gonna do.
Go lay down. Get out of here.
Oh, get out of here, dog.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. He's do the same thing with Megan. Megan would be wrecking the TV. Get out of here, Megan. When he secretly is like, Megan, come give me a hug. Come on.
All right, finish your thought.
I'm just saying.
You don't think Vandy's real?
I can't focus if you're gonna do that. I didn't say Vandy ain't real.
It's a schedule. Schedule's telling.
All I'm saying is we're going to find out. It ain't one of those things where like they're, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna find out in October if Vandy's real. They're fun to watch. I love Pavia. I love what they did against South Carolina.
Best tight end in college football. I mean, they don't have the depth that these other teams have.
Yeah, to go on a run through October like that.
Yeah,
that's when you need depth because you know people are gonna get banged up a little bit, and so we're gonna find out. Vandy.
Yeah, but man, he the head coach and the quarterback. It's easy to get excited about what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
and to kind of see where they go before the schedule really picks up. Top 5 teams. You want to start with your top 5?
I'll start. You want me to just run through them, or you want?
Yeah, there's your graphic right there. Oh, I love that A&M. I love that.
Yeah,
I wish I had that.
Here's my top 5. I got Ohio State, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami.
And I love this.
See,
I love this.
See, it's great when you get to do your own. Yeah. And it is like, I don't have to play by anybody's rules. I don't have to go committee. Here's what I'm looking at. Here's why I have Georgia, Tennessee right there together. Because if Tennessee hits the field goal, literally, that's how good that game was. Miami, because we've seen them play Notre Dame and a ranked USF team. And then A&M because we've seen them go on the road to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Now, I know before the Big Ten people get up in arms and start tweeting at you, because I don't check Twitter, but they'll be tweeting at you. Galloway's an idiot. He's a SEC homer.
Yeah.
Here's, and you know, we've been doing rankings for a long time. I'm not very reactive to things when somebody struggles, those kind of things. But my mindset early in seasons.
Can you see that at the bottom down there? No, Oregon.
Yes, there we go. Let me see. Oregon has played Montana State, Oklahoma State, and Northwestern. When I seen the initials for Montana State on their schedule, I had to go look up and find out who that team was. They've looked amazing. They haven't played anybody. In 2 weeks, they have Penn State.
Yeah. Whiteout.
Then
they win that. Yeah.
Then at least we'll know what we're looking at. Up until then, hey, Penn State's looked really good. But who have they played?
Yeah.
So my mindset is I've seen these 5 teams play somebody.
That's fair. That's fair.
And now I got something to go off of.
Yeah, I'm impressed you got Tennessee up there coming off of a loss, still at 3. I appreciate that. In the AP, they went in last week at 15. I was curious to see what the AP would do with them after that loss. They ended up staying at 15. So they didn't go up.
Well, good.
They didn't go down. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So I love yours. I love your A&M going into Notre Dame. I wish I would have thought of A&M. In the AP, A&M is at 10. And I love that you have them up there at 5. Now, my top 5, I have a combination of teams that have done some things and teams that have potential to do some things. Like I look at LSU, and maybe it's because I saw them in person when they played Clemson.
Yep.
I saw their defense, and I just thought Blake Baker, I think, is one of the top defensive coordinators in the country. And they made some intentional adjustments to their defensive front, especially on the ends and in the secondary, especially at corner. And I think we've been talking, I think it's one of the big stories in the sport after the first 3 weeks is how good their defense is. They had 5 picks last week. Some of that was Lagway. Some of that is really good LSU defense. So I got them at 1. I got Penn State. A lot of that is on potential. A lot of that is what I thought of them in the preseason. And they really haven't done anything to make me think that they don't deserve to be up there at 1 or 2. Ohio State is obviously a very talented team, much like Georgia. I feel like it's a new wave of Buckeyes, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And then Julian Sayin continues to kind of show us that he's got great command of that offense.
Yep.
It'll be fun to see them when they really get into a game. I don't feel like they have a back at this point that is shown to be a J.K. Dobbins, a Trevion Henderson, a Quinshon Junkins, like that guy that if you pay too much attention to Jeremiah Smith, they're going to make you pay for it with not just 8 yards, 7 yards, but like 80 yards. They've had that in the backfield over the last, whatever it's been, 5, 6, 7 years. And I'm not saying they don't have it. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
From their backs. Miami, much like you, I think they've done enough. Carson Beck seems to have, he's smiling. Last year, it just looked like a guy that the weight of the world was on.
He looked miserable.
Yeah.
He looked miserable last year.
Like, I'm good. If I don't ever play football again, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know that, but it just, I know from meeting with him that some of the Georgia fans handled him, he didn't care for. It hurt his heart. It hurt him personally. He told me a story about when they lost to Alabama last year in Tuscaloosa, his own fan base, yelling stuff around his parents. And it took a toll. So sometimes, and by the way, that doesn't mean Georgia has bad fans. It just means, as every fan base has, people can be toxic and impact players. And I think he needed a new start. And I think it's up to this point, it's been fantastic. Good for him and good for Miami.
He's been really good. Yeah. Really good. And speaking of fans, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Number three. Number three right there. Here's the thing. Here's the craziness. I'm going to get it for you because
this isn't my final rankings. This is
week
3.
Hey, listen. You've lived here before. This is a kick in the nuts to fans. Like, it is like you took their nuts and just kicked them when you do this. And honestly, when I leave my house today, I can promise you somebody is going to say to me, why does he hate the Buckeyes? Why does he hate us? And I'm like, it's not that. It's not a personal event here.
I love
Listen, hey man, while the Texas and Ohio State game was happening, I'm getting text messages from people like, we better be number one. How dare that? And I'm like, people, it's week 1. It's week 3 now.
Isn't last year remind all fans about Ohio State was down and out, right? I mean, they lost a couple games. They lost to Michigan. They didn't go to the Big Ten. But with 12 teams now, the beauty is you get a chance to not get into a subjective debate. You get a chance to do it on the field. They won 4 straight when many of the same people that are frustrated with you wanted Ryan Day fired. Like those same people wanted him fired. And the team went on the field and went Tennessee and Oregon and Texas and Notre Dame and won it all. So if you're 3 or 7 or 9 or 10, great.
Fans will look at it like that. They act like there is an actual trophy that is handed out on a weekly basis. So that if you don't have them at number 1, then you clearly
But if we're going by who we love, I would put Ohio State at number 1 every week.
Yeah.
That's not what you're asking, is who's your favorite team. You're not asking me that, are you?
No. I wouldn't ask anything. The only question I have about your rankings, I don't mind.
I loved your A&M, by the way. I loved your A&M.
Thank you.
And your Tennessee.
The only question I would have, it's not the Buckeyes at 3. Who cares? Penn State. Hey, listen, Penn State. Kind of like Vandy. Kind of like I was saying with A&M.
Can't quite get over the hump.
I just need to see you get over the hump.
Bro, they were in the semifinals last year. Had Notre Dame beat.
Yeah.
I mean,
they also had the Buckeyes at home.
Yeah.
Great opportunities
Yeah.
to get over that hump.
No, I understand that.
They're just a team for me. In 2 weeks, when they play Oregon,
Then we'll find out. We'll
we may
find out.
come back on Monday, and I might be right there with you.
By the way, Oregon's another team so much to love, but is the quarterback ready to go to a whiteout? Until you see it, it's just like Gunnar Stockton and Joey Aguilar and Marcel Reed. Like, until you see it, it's fair to be like, I don't know. Let's see if they can do it.
Absolutely right. It's like, hey, Dante Moore, you looked great. We just need to see. We just need to see one of these big events happen.
Yeah. Let's. Anything else on college football? Because I know we've already gone 43 minutes. Here. Let's hit some NFL.
Okay.
Anything yesterday, or first of all, I did the Packers on Thursday night, and let me just say this: this was after their opening game when they looked so good, and I liked the Packers before Micah Parsons went there, and I feel like Micah Parsons has brought some energy and juice to Lambeau, into the belief that place was electric the other night. Parsons is getting a lot of attention, deservingly so. He's a difference maker, a game wrecker. But Jordan Love's now in his 3rd year as a starting quarterback. Those receivers, many of them, are in their 3rd year starting with him. So it's almost like these last couple of years, they've kind of all grown up together. Reed went out there with a broken collarbone. Hopefully he'll be okay after that play. But they've all kind of grown up together. So I think the timing of Parsons coming in with a team that's went to the playoffs last year, has some seasoning. I feel like the Bills and the Packers early are up at the top. And I feel like the Ravens are up there. And there's other teams you can put up there. But damn, the Pack right now, they look to be the real deal.
They do. And Jordan Love is going to be the key to the situation. Because he looks really good at times, and like a lot of quarterbacks, not so good at times. Still young as far as playing time is. But you are right. It is a different energy. You bring in a guy that can rush the passer by himself,
right?
It changes everything you can do on defense now. It frees your D coordinator up to now I don't have to do a lot of stunting. I don't have to do a lot of blitzing. Now I can send
they're playing zone.
Back in the day, like when the Giants were really good, when they could rush 4.
Oh, yeah.
When Bama's really good, they could rush 4, keep 7 back, and play ball. It changes everything. I also do like the Ravens too, though. I mean, even though they lost to Buffalo.
I'm with you. Yeah. Like you were saying with Penn State, the Ravens and Lamar, who it's like, how do you not love the Ravens franchise? But they're that same kind of thing you were saying, like, can't quite, especially in the postseason, get over the hump, right?
Yes, especially in the postseason. They look like Lamar Jackson is amazing. And then there'll be those 1 or 2 moments in the postseason when it's like, they pulled a Penn State. They didn't really get over the hump. But it looks fun now when you look at the Chiefs are sitting there at 0-2. It's like, okay, maybe we have a little bit of a changing of the guard. And I know you guys tried to outlaw the tush push. But here's the thing, Herb. Here's the thing. How do they, not only is the play unstoppable, but now they're letting the 2 guards, that's a false start.
Yeah.
2 offensive guards. Yesterday, when you're watching the game against the Chiefs, and they showed that down the line angle of that play, the guards are moving before the center. And you got to come to that thing thinking, we already can't stop it. And now
there it is right there.
Yeah. They're letting the guards move first. Hey, officials, you gotta do better.
Yeah, we gotta look at that.
Yeah,
Eagles, by the way, right there is obviously as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Jalen, they've done nothing to make you feel like. I just think it's cool instead of just Chiefs, Eagles. I just think it's fun. We've got some other storylines that are developing. Chiefs.
Yeah, we got a big storyline developing down there in Cincinnati.
What, Joe Burrow turf toe?
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Have you ever had Eddie had turf toe really bad?
I had turf toe too. And
Talk to me about turf toe.
goodness, would these people see way back in the day, Jack Lambert, linebacker for the Pittsburgh
Oh,
Steelers.
yeah.
I was a Steelers fan growing up. I honestly thought I was going to be Jack Lambert. Like I thought when I was a little guy, I was going to have the neck roll. I was going to be in the middle. I was going to wear 58. My toe was going to be
Everybody,
bouncing.
by the way,
And I
that
was
the Steelers wanted to be.
that's going to be
that
my
guy.
plan. That was my
That
plan.
or Lynn Swan. Like
before Lynn Swan, because
Wow.
later
Wow.
I wanted to be Lynn Swan, but
Okay.
my first thought was I was going to be Lambert. And then he dealt with turf toe. And it sounds
Sounds like
a
put
hangnail.
a Band-Aid on it. And
Sounds like a hangnail.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a hangnail. And he started to have problems with this and missing games. And I'm like, here I am thinking this is the toughest guy outside of my dad that I've ever met. And all of a sudden, turf toe's taking him out.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what is this turf toe thing? It must be serious. Years later, get into the league, and I start dealing with turf toe. And I'm like,
how do you explain it in layman's terms to people who haven't had turf toe?
If like you're trying to push off, it is a killer. Now I've heard your guy might have to have surgery. I didn't have to go
That's
that.
that's what I heard.
I was wearing basically combat boots while playing football to try to protect not having to push off.
So every time you
with my toe,
you make a push off.
For guy that's running, every time you push,
oh my God,
it is a killer. And so I dealt with it. And when I saw this about Joe Burrow, I was like, oh, please tell me this is not. And then I saw the 3 months. And I was like, holy crap. And I know people think, hey, it's like you can have 3 months. I mean, you can get an ACL repaired. And
8 months, 8 months anymore.
That's how serious turf toe is. And I feel unfortunate for Joe Burrow and you and my guys like Snoop that are like,
yeah,
oh, season's over. We're a couple weeks in.
I will say this quietly.
What do we got?
The offense looked pretty good with Jake Browning. It appeared that they had some rhythm there.
Is it?
They had a little.
Is that what we're going with?
I'm just saying.
These moments right here. See, the people don't understand these moments right here. They don't understand what I've had to deal with.
What?
Now I can get my feelings out. This is the same thing you do every season. The Cincinnati Reds.
Don't get me going on the effing Reds. Don't talk about
it. Starts here. Hey, we didn't look bad. In 2 weeks, I will text you after you guys lose a game, and you will literally text back like, hey, season's over. I don't know why you're texting me anymore.
Yeah.
We're done. You go from this to we didn't look bad. It's going to take 2 weeks for you to be like, when's the baseball season?
Let me tell you how much I can't stand the Reds. The New York Mets, they wrapped the third spot on the wild card in a present. And they handed it to the Reds. Said, here, you know what? We want to get into the offseason. We really don't have any interest in playing in the playoffs. So Reds, you got Tito, your new manager. Here you go. Take it. We're done. You know what the Reds did to show their gratitude?
What we do?
They got swept by a franchise. I don't even know where the A's. Do the A's still play in Oakland? Are they in Las Vegas now? I don't know.
Southwest.
Somehow, some way.
The
Reds decided to get swept by the shitty Oakland, Las Vegas A's. So their season is officially over. I've been there since April. You know that. Yeah. So
season's over?
Season's over. Yeah.
I'm a Pirates fan.
Well, you've been done for decades.
We're 10 games behind you. So Paul Skeens, there should be some kind of grievance.
Yeah.
There should be some kind of grievance.
They need him. He needs to get out.
He can file with Major League Baseball to say, hey, listen, this team they don't act, they're not trying. Can I go? Can I?
Yeah.
There should be something to be done for a guy
Maybe,
like Paul Skeens.
can't you just see him in a Yankees or a Dodgers uniform?
Oh, it's coming.
I mean, it's a
just,
given. Yeah.
It's unfortunate for him with his numbers and what he's done. If he'd have been on a team that just tried just a little bit, he would already be in the Hall of Fame. Like you could sign him up. He's been that good, and we just can't give him any runs. But it's interesting how this happens. We're talking, if I can just sprinkle in the Reds, you can't help yourself. You can't but jump in and be like, they got me again. It's tough. I understand.
I get very, very, very frustrated because I'm a dumbass that watches the Reds April 1st. I watch every game all night.
Yeah.
How many humans are left on the planet that watch Major League Baseball in April 1st? 9 innings every single day.
Yeah,
how many humans are left?
I remember when we would be riding in the car, was it Marty Brenneman? Like, who was your radio guy?
Marty and Joe. Yeah.
The radio.
Yeah, we'd be going 64 miles an hour.
Yes. The speed limit is 65. You go 64. And without using cruise control, somehow you keep your toe. You never had turf toe. Somehow you keep your toe specifically on 64 with the Reds playing on the radio.
It was my zen.
Here's me, young kid at the time. I'm young. I'm in college. I got a little juice. I want some, you know what I mean? And I'm listening to the Reds, Marty Brenneman.
2 balls and a strike.
Going 64 down the highway. I felt like we were two 85-year-old men listening to the radio going 64 down the highway.
10 and 2 on the wheel.
Yeah, those were amazing. But you're right. You're the only guy I know with that kind of dedication.
In 2025, how many people watch their team? No one.
I know one other person, Stephen Oling in the Toronto Blue Jays. The only other person like you that is watching every strike,
every game,
and texting me after every batter chokes. I'm getting a text. Yeah. Although the Blue Jays looking pretty good right now, they're in a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Welcome back, Reds. Come back here with the Pirates.
Yeah,
come back where you belong. You got ahead of yourself. Start thinking playoffs.
It's so frustrating. What's your week like this week? You got kids football. You got.
Dude,
you still coaching?
Yeah, I got practice today at 3:30 for the 8th grade, and then I go straight from there over to the high school practice and get some of that in. My flag football team, which is my 5th grade team, we just played on Sunday, yesterday when I got back. So yeah, I am still.
What's your role as a coach on those 3 teams?
So my role is I help on both sides. And so it's kind of great because the kids nowadays, like, they didn't actually know.
Yeah.
They actually see me play.
Yeah.
But they found out when they saw me on Madden. You remember we used to play Madden, it used to be a lifer. So when these kids that I'm helping, when they saw me on Madden, they were like,
"Oh,
hey,
you count.
You're
count.
Famous.
Your opinion
matters." And so I help out on both sides, and it's been great. The kids have been amazing, and that's why I do it. I mean, like, I don't get paid to do it. I do it because these kids, man, coaching kids is so much easier than dealing with you adults.
But what about the other adults that are coaching? Not maybe your team, but some of the other teams. Is that fun?
That's not that much fun. Hey, listen, the worst thing.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I've been coaching for so long now, and you warned me of this years and years and years ago. The worst thing I've ever seen is somebody that has a talented 3rd grader.
It's over. He's going to leave.
It is private lessons.
He's probably got an agent.
Specialize. We're playing one sport. We got hitting lessons 12 days a week. And it becomes, and then years later, and we got to play summer league. We got to travel. We got to go 3 states over because doggone it, there's not enough.
Only the best.
The only way to get seen in 4th grade as if you travel over to
Gotta
play
go
in this
to
tournament.
Atlanta and Indy and
Cooperstown.
you got to go everywhere.
You got to go with
Yeah.
your fourth graders. That's where they get seen, because that's where the Cincinnati Red Scouts are hanging out in
They're over there.
Cooperstown,
Yeah.
checking out the fourth graders.
Yeah.
And you sit back and you're like, poor Johnny is not going to play later. By the time poor Johnny gets to high school, he realizes he hasn't had one summer. He hadn't had one summer to hang out with his buddies.
Oh yeah, how can you when you play 87 games a summer? You don't have any time.
And we're throwing curveballs.
Going to the pool. Not going to the pool.
And we're throwing curveballs in fourth grade.
Tommy John surgery follows in 10th grade.
Oh, yeah, that stuff's been amazing. My kids play all
Have
local.
you ever wanted to wrestle somebody?
Yeah. Hey, my kids play all local. And when people ask me, where's your son play? I'm like, we play out there in Dublin. They look at me like I'm mistreating them. Like, how did you're not traveling? You didn't go to Cooperstown? I'm like, nah, we didn't make Cooperstown. We didn't make that trip. But that's why you do it. You try to give the kids an experience. It's like, I mean, there's plenty of time later when you get to high school to be serious. Yeah. Up until then, let's have some fun.
I'm with you. It's hard to find that. I'm glad you're doing that. We have less than a minute. You're going to be in studio this week, right?
Yes, sir.
With your boys.
Yes, sir. I'll be in there having fun.
Okay. College Game Day goes to Miami. The Gators and DJ Lagway look to try to get right. Boy, by the way, the gauntlet that they're on, right? I mean, it's like 1 week after another. DJ Lagway, tough game last week at Baton Rouge.
Tough game.
To say the least. Yeah, 5. So we'll see how they get ready for the Canes. And we'll be back next month. So we're going to do this every Monday.
Yes, for sure.
We'll probably have a guest on. We'll start incorporating that as well. But appreciate you hopping on. Have a great week. And we'll catch up next Monday, break down all these games, and have a lot of fun. Appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir.